Chapter 7:14. Alex turned to Don Steven and asked in amusement, "Don Steven, since Ethan Joey is a pathetic jerk, what do you think his father should be?" Don Steven thought for a while and said, since his son is a pathetic jerk. His father should be the father of the pathetic jerk then, am I right?" Alex nodded satisfyingly. "Yes. You're right, he is the father of the pathetic jerk." Then, he turned to Mr. Joey and asked with a smile, "Mr. Link Joey, what do you think?" Mr. Joey nodded vigorously and said in a flattering tone, "Yes, Don Steven is right, I am the father of the pathetic jerk." "Good." Alex nodded and said to Don Steven, "See, he admitted it himself, so get your pen ready." "Pen?" Don Steven started in a daze and blurted, "What pen, Master Anderson? Do you want me to write something?" Alex pointed to the carved pathetic jerk on Ethan's forehead and said, "Write the sign on his head, have you forgotten?" Don Steven slapped his head with a cheeky laugh and said apologetically, "I'm so sorry for being blunt, Master Anderson, I didn't know that was what you meant." Mr. Joey gaped in extreme shock at the moment. He was heartbroken enough to see the carved words on his son's forehead. If they wanted to carve the statement "the father of the pathetic jerk" on his forehead, he would rather die. He wailed and pleaded, "Master Anderson, please, I'm an old man, please spare me." Alex nodded and said in an earnest tone, "I am sparing you, and that's why I'm letting Don Steven carve only your forehead. If it's up to me, I would carve the words on both your cheeks and do the same with your son. You can make it a father-son uniform thing." Mr. Joey wailed loudly, "Oh no! Master Anderson, please forgive me. I'm old and my skin is wrinkled, it won't be easy for Don Steven to do it." Don Steven laughed sinisterly. "Mr. Joey, don't you worry, my hands are very stable and I can carve the words effortlessly even if your forehead is full of wrinkles." Trump interjected, "Yes, Alex, this Mr. Joey thing is so wicked. He wanted to carve words on my forehead too and said that he wanted to carve it so hard that it hit my skull." Mr. Joey was taken aback and cried, "Mr. Richard, I was just kidding." "Kid your ass," Trump shouted indignantly, "your son held the fucking knife against my head. If my son-in-law had arrived a bit later, you'd have already started carving words on it." Realizing the urgency, Mr. Joey crawled to Alex and pleaded, "Master Anderson, I was just kidding with your father-in-law, really. Please." Alex huffed indifferently, "I don't care, I'll give you two choices now. 1, you let Don Steven carve those words on your forehead right now, or 2, I'll let Don Steven castrate your son right in front of you. Choose." Ethan wailed desperately. He went to Mr. Joey and pleaded, "Dad, oh, Dad. Please, don't let him do that. I don't have a kid yet, please, you want me to have a kid, don't you?" Mr. Joey almost fainted from despair and frustration. What should he do? If he knew they would end up like this today, he would never have dared to provoke Don Steven and Alex's father-in-law even if someone held him at gunpoint. Alex presented the multiple-choice question right at his face now. How should he choose? Should he choose the word carving? But his majestic image would be destroyed once and for all. However, if he made the second choice, his son would be neutered and the Joey family would become extinct. Therefore, he shivered in fear and choked in despair as he looked at Don Steven. "Don Steven, please show me some mercy when you carve the words." Don Steven sneered, "Don't worry, I'll carve it on your skull."